you and Beyonce are really close. And there was something about how Keyshia Cole complained that you weren't giving her any songs because of your relationship with Beyonce and how she sort of said something about Beyonce. Any truth in that?
Of course.
She was hating on the Queen Beyonce. So
I was not hating on Beyonce.
It kind of was hate.
No, it was not directed at all as hate.
When the Bow Down record came out,
yeah, I love Beyonce.
And you was like, first it was all let's have camaraderie as women. Now it's
well,
Bow
the thing
Down.
is that I just I met seen Beyonce a few times. She's always a very sweet girl. To me, that just wasn't her. You know what I mean? Her thing. But I don't know. Like dude said, she switched it up or something.
If somebody says, I love you, but I hate you, that's not homage.
So according to Keyshia Cole, Messy Tale, Beyonce's daddy, Matthew, was out here servicing Beyonce to industry executives for freak-offs in order to boost her career. Apparently, this is how she ended up with Jay-Z when she was just 18 and he was pushing 30. Their marriage was a business plan that went too far, and now she's caught up in his mess with Diddy. It turns out Beyonce thought Jay was going to help her career differently from how Matthew did. But baby, Jay wasn't any better. Word on the street is he didn't just have B on substances. He also continued Matthew's legacy of servicing her to these industry execs, and one of them was Diddy. Keyshia has always felt a way about B, but these allegations she's putting out definitely take the cake. And the streets are talking, honey. Keyshia first dragged Beyonce for filth back in 2013 when Beyonce released her diss track, Bow Down. This song had everyone pressed, especially the R&B girls, because Beyonce was basically telling them that she's their queen, and they need to stop trying to keep up with her and just bow down. Some people also speculated that the song was actually shade to Rihanna. And it's fair to say Rihanna also thought the same thing, because she threw the shade right back at B in a matter of minutes. Even Beyonce's own fans dragged her for being a hypocrite, and this was shocking because if y'all know anything about the Beehive, then you know them folks are crazy over B, so the fact that they called her out was crazy. They accused her of going from preaching about girls running the world to calling those same girls the B word and demanding for them to bow down.
Bow down B over and over from the woman who preaches empowering women is a bit unsettling to some.
I just feel like it's kind of, it's hard to swallow. Just very hard to swallow, having seen her in a different light.
I don't like it. I don't think it's her. I don't think it goes to what she represents.
I love Beyonce, but I honestly think that Jay-Z's putting thoughts in her head.
You're on a Pepsi can, for goodness sakes, to tell B words to bow down. And then you're saying girls run the world.
And instead of Beyonce just taking her L and admitting she was in the wrong for coming for Rihanna, she got defensive and refused to apologize. She said she walked in the studio one day with a voice in her head telling her to humble the girls, and she just got in the booth and did exactly that. She said she didn't mean to offend people, but she still has gone on to unapologetically perform that song a lot, even in her Beychella performance. So clearly she doesn't care, and that's what really had and still has Keyshia pressed.
The reason I put out Bow Down is because I woke up, I went into the studio, I had a chant in my head. It was aggressive, it was angry. It wasn't the Beyonce that wakes up every morning. It was the Beyonce that was angry. It was the Beyonce that felt the need to defend herself. And if this song never comes out, okay, I said it. And I listened to it after I finished, and I said, this is hot. I'm gonna put it out. I'm not gonna sell it. I'm gonna just put it out. People like it, great. They don't. They don't. And I won't do it every day because that's not who I am. But I feel strong. And anyone that says, oh, that is disrespectful, just imagine a person that hates you. Imagine a person that doesn't believe in you. And look in the mirror and say, bow down, bitch. And I guarantee you feel gangster. So listen to that song from that point of view again if you didn't like it before.
This explanation pissed both Rihanna and Keyshia off even more, and they took other social media pages to read her for filth. Rihanna jumped on Instagram and posted an article crowning her the queen of pop in the UK and captioned it, "I only know how to be number one. I could use a challenge." How'd I feel down there on your knees, huh? Anyone who knows a real Navy knows Rihanna was very snappy this era, so it wasn't hard for folks to figure out that she was throwing shade directly at Beyonce with this post. Things got even messier when Keyshia Cole and Brandy also came to Rihanna's defense by blasting Beyonce for being bitter. Keyshia went on an explosive rant on Twitter, and she was even more direct with her shade than Rihanna. She said, "First, women need to stick together. Now be better, bow." Shaking my head, but it's all G. Chicks stay shooting the ish. She continued, "I done kept it real from the start. Hashtag respect that. Can't stand when people are self-righteous when it's convenient and it makes them look good. Laughing my A off, but can still talk ish when convenient too. F out of here." Brandy also had a few things to say too, and she did not come to play.
I know that you are a Beyonce fan.
I am.
You're a Beyonce fan, and she recently put out her new song, Bow Down. People are talking about it.
Opinion is opinion. I think art should be expressed the way it should.
Do you love the song?
I don't love the song, but I love Beyonce. I have to be honest, you know.
With all the years that have gone by, you'd think Keyshia wouldn't be pressed anymore, but word on the street is she is. And she recently started spreading rumors behind the scenes that Matthew was servicing B to industry execs before she met Jay-Z, and Jay was actually one of the many men he pimped out. But as I said, Jay wasn't any better because he was allegedly servicing her out too, and this was seemingly confirmed by DaBaby when he said he met Beyonce and Jay in Diddy's house for a private meeting.
Beyonce, I was at a party at Diddy crib in LA. This was the beginning of 2020. You know what I mean? Diddy had put everybody else out the crib, like the influx of people he had put them out. But he had took a liking to me in particular around the time, man. It was really, you know what I mean, like putting his arm around me.
Right.
So he had put majority of the people out, but he allowed me to stay in there. Me and, you know, maybe about 15 others, you know.
Right.
Jay-Z and Beyonce being, you know, two of the other 15 people in the room. So that'll just put into perspective of the type of company I was in at the moment, you know. And she came over and introduced herself to me like as if she had to.
Right.
Beyonce, cut it out. But I'm a big fan of your work, you know what I'm saying? Whoop de whoop, and that was just dope. That was dope as hell to me, man. That was dope.
Now, if y'all remember, there were allegations about Jay keeping Beyonce hooked on nose candy and other substances so he could manipulate and control her after her ex-bodyguard Uncle Ron said he saw Jay fill Beyonce up with hard substances to keep her under control.
But I'll say, man, yeah, Beyonce's on the books. She's been on them for a long time. And you keep her that way.
As if that wasn't bad enough, there has also been rumors about Jay luring Beyonce into a relationship with him when she was just 18 and he was pushing 30. This is what Keyshia was talking about when she said B was serviced to Jay for her career to be boosted. Immediately she got with Jay, her career started going up really fast and she began getting more industry support than Kelly and Michelle. Mind you, Beyonce never really had a social life while growing up. She was tied up in her career right from when she was a teenager and only had one boyfriend while she was in high school. People believe this is why Beyonce stayed with Jay after he cheated on her. He is the only man she has known since she was 18. Her whole career is centered around him, and she's built a whole family with him. She doesn't know what it's like to be a woman of her own without him in the picture.
How? I feel like she never got to experience life with the different types of people, and the fact that he was so old low-key, I feel like the only way she expresses herself is through her music. And like I don't know them, obviously. But I'm just saying, just like by seeing the age gap and what happens between that age gap, she never got to live outside.
And just when we thought things couldn't get any worse, another tea was recently spilled by a blind item, exposing the details of Beyonce's alleged $500 million escape plan. The source claims B wants to stop doing music and live a quiet life, but they keep her up and make her perform against her will because she's their biggest cash cow. The source said industry insiders have been whispering about this for a while. If you're wondering why her bodyguard chased after her at that big award show recently, it's because singer has threatened to flee the country multiple times. She's done with the control, the pressure, and the handlers who make every decision for her. They're afraid she'll leave without notice and their right to be. Singer suffers from depression and has thoughts. Her team sees her as a danger to herself, but what they're really afraid of is losing their cash cow. They've kept her under control for years, but they won't be able to much longer. She's on the verge of rebelling. She's fed up with her mother's control. She's tired of her husband's influence. It's unclear where Keyshia got the tea about Jay servicing Beyonce out, or even if Keyshia really said it, but the streets have been talking and they ain't taking it easy on B. People are convinced she knows more than she's letting out, but of course, since nothing is confirmed, we'll just have to wait and see. As usual, people had their own thoughts, like this person who said, I am so sick of hearing about Beyonce as if she single-handedly created music for women. I would pick Keyshia Cole's voice over Beyonce anytime. Keyshia can really sing. Give credit where credit is due, people. Another person said, I didn't even know Keyshia Cole was beefing with Beyonce, let alone that she's blackballed. I just thought her music wasn't popping like it used to be, so she retired. Also, I always thought her name was Keyshia. I had no idea it's Keyshia. But now, I want to know your thoughts. What do you think of Beyonce allegedly blackballing Keyshia for exposing her? And do y'all believe the wild allegations Keyshia allegedly made about B being serviced off by Jay? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.